Hey there, Shawna Karrasch here with a question from Ask Shawna. Anyway, I'm coming to you actually from Lincolnshire, England, for Joe's Hughes place and called Equilibre Horses. Equilibre for Horses is the name for business. So anyway, this question tonight is coming to you from Oliver. And Oliver says, hey Shawna, I have two questions for you. The first one is that I was wondering if you knew how I could get my saddlebred mare to gain more weight. I have her in a pasture full of tall grass, and she's been there for about a week now, and I see a lot of improvement, but it's not as much as I'd like. Do you know anything I would add to her diet to help her gain weight? The second question is, how can I get my Appaloosa geldings to stop randomly just stopping and not listening to me? He's been like that ever since I started to use a curb strap. But without one, he acts like I'm not even there. Please help me. Thanks. Okay, first let's get to the diet question. Gaining weight should be slow and steady. So it's just like with people. You know, we shouldn't pile on or lose too fast or gain too fast. It should go kind of slow and steady so that you're seeing increments, that you're seeing some improvement is a good sign. It means you're on the right track. So don't get it too fast. Rice bran has always been a good kind of weight builder, weight gainer. Oils, or different feeds are meant for gaining weight, but I would really advise that you just double check with your vet, just so you don't. It's always best to just kind of, like, your vet will know kind of your situation and your local grasses or your local hay or whatever you're feeding, and you can kind of discuss that and get kind of a nice program and some, depending on size and stuff, of a nice ratio to go through. So I'd really double check with the vet for that, but I probably a little bit, adding some grain and adding some rice bran would probably be a good start, but again, you want to go slower, not just plump her up too fast. Okay, now next section, for your Appaloosa gelding, so that you put on the curb strap and this behavior. I mean, you have a factor here that really kind of tells you there's a catalyst for this behavior, and I think the curb strap, there's something going on there that is not working so well. And my my general school of thought is, it's not the gadgets that train, it is the people who train. So it's the training that trains. So instead of having the curb strap to do it, what I'd start to do is work on your horse's responsiveness to your aids. So instead of, and feeling like that he doesn't even act like you're there, I'm imagining, I don't know if it means that I'm imagining it's from a stop place, because usually that's when we're using curb straps, because we want more control and downward transition. So I'm kind of envisioning this is what we're talking about, but let me know if it's a little different and I'm on track. Or even if it is, let's say it's upward transitions, or it's turns, or it's this, or it's that. Just build in those little increments, but I'm going to view it as it's a downward transition thing, so that you're having trouble stopping, listening. So what I would suggest you do is work on, I would work on doing leading exercises from the ground without anything. I would do them at Liberty to start, and I would, sorry, itchy face. I do it from Liberty, and I would be walking, and you can use a target for this, because if you need to, because a target oftentimes helps direct this behavior. If you can do it without a target, I choose to. I'd like to do that. But sometimes if they're too going forward, you'll need a target to help give them the right idea. So the target can kind of replace the halter and lead rope, yet you're doing it at Liberty, so it's not gadgets again or equipment creating this change. It's them thinking about it and processing the change. So a lot of times what I'll start doing is leading. So I'm acting like I might be holding the target, so the target head's out here. And the target's there. So I might be walking with it. So I just want their head in a comfortable place, but I use the target right there. And as I'm about to stop, I'll say ho, and then the target stops. And a lot of times, as they follow the target, it creates a downward transition. As they begin to stop or slow down, you can click and reinforce it, or whatever bridge signal you like. So I'll refer to it as a click, but maybe you're using, anyway, let's just say click. So you can click and then reinforce them. And so now you've just, remember, the definition of a reinforcer is it increases the likelihood of seeing that behavior repeated. So every time you get a chance to click and reinforce that, you've just increased the likelihood of seeing that behavior. And this is how it works. They make a choice every time they're doing things. They're thinking, well, you ask for a stop, and he thinks, well, going is more reinforcing for me than stopping. So the choice keeps making, without a curb strap, is I just want to keep going. So what I would do is work on those downward transitions, building a stronger reinforcement history of downward transitions. And then pretty soon he's going to go, I want to stop. I want to look for that. I want to hear that. So, and it could be the same if it were upward transitions, whatever it might be. But it sounds to me, again, I'm thinking that the curb straps causes unwanted stopping, but it sounds like you don't have enough control or downward transitions without. So pretty soon as you start doing this, and I use the ho because I anticipate wanting to go, or a verbal bridge signal, whatever it is, ho, whoa, stop, you know, whatever you want it to be. I want to use a verbal because then I can transition that from on the ground to under saddle, so that it gives you, you can take it continually from here to there. The target's going to help create that action. As he offers that action, you click and reinforce. Now I'd walk on again, and still click and reinforce some goes too, because you want to keep that balance, but I put the emphasis on the slow, stop or slow down, and just a few on the upward transition. But keep that balance throughout. And then as you're going to try it again, stop and slow down, and then ho, and then ho. And pretty soon as you keep reinforcing that, and start really slow, so you're walking really slow, so you're helping to set them up for success. If you get too much momentum, oftentimes that momentum, you say stop, and they kind of curl around and face you because they have too much momentum. So I just kind of go step, step, stop, step, step, stop, step, step, stop, step, 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 stop, and start building it up. But at first, start really where you feel like you're going to have the most success, and that's usually at the slower gates. As you get that really good and strong, and you feel like they're offering it, and he's almost looking for it, you know, he'll be like, can we stop now? Then I move up to a faster walk, and I put in more steps, you know, kind of slowly transitioning up, and sometimes still stopping right away, so they don't learn it only happens when, you know, we're 15 steps into it, but sometimes go might stop right away, might stop later, but build that up, and then when that's going good, build up to the trot and the downward transition. And then when that's going good, I would also then work it in the saddle. Well, no, the next step I would do, I would actually then do it with the bridle on, or you could even do it with a halter and lead rope on. But first I want to break that old cycle of this is the association how we do it, and this is how I don't do it, essentially, you know, because he probably thinks I just run through it. I don't really listen to that pressure. So I would do it first without the pressure. So you're saying, I'm just showing you what to do or asking you what to do. As he gets to making a choice to do it, and he wants to do it, and his reinforcement history behavior gets stronger with that behavior, the more likely every time you get a chance to repeat a behavior, you've just increased the likelihood of seeing it as part of their repertoire. So every time we get to reinforce it, the more likely they are to do it, the stronger it becomes part of their repertoire. And so we've just increased. So now, next thing I'd go to is with the halter and lead rope. Now I don't want you to hang on that halter and lead rope. So now we know we got it clear. We got walk, trot, he's all good. You know, he goes from walk to big trot to little trot to downward transition. It's all good there. Next thing I do is go to the halter and lead rope. And so I'd go back to the little baby steps. Walk, walk, stop. Walk, walk, stop. And what I do is I do the little tug, then target. Little tug, then a target. So you want the fleeting moment of the pressure of the lead rope followed by the target. Because at this point in time, the pressure doesn't mean as much as it should because he's not responding correctly. He hasn't, he's decided it just doesn't mean that much to me, and I don't really care about that. So we want to create his desire to do the right thing. So we want to set him up for success. So we want to feel that little tug, but right away then we want to go back to what has helped create the stop and what is he responding to. He's responding to the target and following the target. So you add that in, you get him to stop to the target, looking for it. So pretty soon he feels the anticipation, he feels the tug and thinks, where's that target? Where's the tug? Where's that target? Here's a tug, I'm going to stop. So we'll fade the target out. So as you get that going good, again, build through the steps, go from slow walk to more walk to a faster walk to a slow trot to a bigger trot. And as we get that going good, the next thing I do it in a bridle. Now doing the same thing. And remember, if he doesn't stop, don't continue to pull on him, because now you're just going to send him back to that old place, which basically kind of sends him over threshold. Sends him places like, I'm not thinking anymore, I'm doing my own thing. It may not be completely nervous, but it is, you've sent me away to my old habits. So what I want you to do is I then want to, if for some reason he's not stopping when you want, don't even way back with just the halter, I want you to not pull anymore on the lead rope. I would just stand stay where you are with the target. And if he goes past it and walks around, I would just be here and say, I don't know, where'd my horse go? Because I'm going to reinforce the horse that was here. And pretty soon he'll realize, so and then I would just give him a 3-second pause and say, I'm not going to reinforce you for that response because it was incorrect, but let's try it again. And then go back on and start again. And when you get the good response, reinforce it heavily and then go back again. So remember, don't resort to pulling on that lead rope or as we go to the bridle, to pulling on the bridle. Instead, go back to the target and let him make the decision, because he will. And when he makes those choices, it'll be stronger and better than anything we can try and manufacture. And you think about it right now, what is in it for your horse to stop? There's not. For some reason for him, it's more reinforcing to go forward. Because remember, if any behavior increases in frequency or maintains in frequency, something's reinforcing it. So for him, he finds it reinforcing to go forward. What's in it for him to stop? There's nothing. You can pull and pull and pull, and he's just not really, it doesn't offer him anything. But by putting something in that he values and he finds, you know, valuable, he becomes invested in training program. He is looking for the response. So he is looking to get what he wants out of it, and you're both working towards success, you know. So that is because he wants to succeed too, because he wants to gain his reward. So so make sure you got it good and solid with the halter lead rope, but with the target. So the halter and lead rope is more of an incidental than the creator of the pressure. It's just for a cue. And then move up to the bridle. And when he is just, it's a little, have it, you know, and you just feel a little tug, target. Little tug, target. And when he is stopping from that little tug, and the target doesn't even really need to be there anyway, and as I start to fade the target out to the side, I don't necessarily have it up beside me. I mean, I'll have it, but then pretty soon I start going, tug, will you stop? And you'll, you know, watch if he's anticipating that stop. So don't move to the halter till he's solid with the just with the target and liberty work. When he's solid there, go to the halter. Don't move to the bridle till halter work is really solid. When he's really solid with the bridle work, then I'd go to under saddle and I'd go back. So make sure that's all good. And moving again through the paces. And then I'd go back to the smallest, little, tiniest stop. So look for, I'm walking 2 steps. Can you hoe? With that little soft pressure and release. And then if he responds, click and reinforce him quite heavily. And remember, at this point, we're not training his mind. I mean, we're not training his body. We're training his mind. So I recommend you try and set him up by success. And a couple ways you can probably do it is to do something else to give him his exercise. So when you're getting on to do these little riding things, you don't want him to be a can of energy that just wants to go, 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 because it's going to be more reinforcing to go and less reinforcing to stop. So give him a chance to burn off that energy, or do something else that helps him burn off that energy, so that when we go to this session, he doesn't feel like he's all bottled up with energy, and pretty soon you're going to have a horse who's responding quite nicely. Okay, that was kind of a little long and drawn out, but it's totally going to work, and I know that you're going to have success with that. Anyway, so Oliver, please get a hold of me if you have more questions related to your question, or as you progress, you know, because you may go along. Even I just want to hear about your success too, because those, I love that. But if you're going along and you feel you have any questions, you know, or you think, okay, this is going good, but what about this, or how do I deal with that, just let me know. I'm always here to help you out. Anyway, so if you or anybody else has questions along these lines, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me at AskShawna.com or ShawnaKarrasch.com. All right, coming to you from England, on the road with Ask Shawna. Until next time, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye.